All right, so hey folks, welcome back to season 2 of Brick by Brick Stories of Homes. We're excited to be here.
We're my new house.
Yes. New recording location. Well, we'll see if we keep that.
Yeah, right. It's not working well stuff.
Yeah, but we're really excited to kind of like be back and continue to peel the curtain to show what's happening behind the scene. Like, I'm really, really excited for this season, like what we're going to talk about, what we're going to share with our audience. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun ride. The interesting stories are going to continue. We're going to have some interesting guests. I won't tell who yet, but we have a couple lineup. But before we kind of like dive in and start talking about things, let's kind of like, do a quick recap. So last season we talked about, we talked about the real estate market. We talked about my horizontal move to flipping, how that turned into a horror story, how, I still ended up with my head on my shoulders at the end. We talked about Darwin's journey to become, an LA. So it's been like interesting, and one interesting thing too, we had Jose Perez talk about his experience, his journey. So we've had a lot to share, I think.
It's been a lot, yeah.
But we have fun. We don't just work hard. So there's some
Work hard, play hard, right?
There you go. There you go. So we're basically going to continue on that same theme and everything, but kind of like what we've been quiet for a couple of weeks, and so what have we been up to? So I'll start with you. What happened? You got your new house.
Yeah, it's really weird. Usually this is kind of a slow time and kind of like, but it kind of ramped up. I think people are excited. The rates are coming down. I think people are kind of realizing like this is the market we live in. So a lot more for pre-approvals, accepted offers. Loans are still nuts, still crazy things going on. It's kind of par for the course.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a weird market. A lot of people aren't renewing their license because right now it's license renewal. So they're learning who's staying in the business
And who's going to be out the game.
So it's crazy. Yeah. A lot going on.
But it's interesting. Like, although loan applications kind of like creeped up, where you've seen more people getting pre-approved because of that dip in the interest rate, we're still seeing like homes having more days on the market.
And people, I think that people are disconnecting, saying, "Oh, rates are coming down," but the payment's still high, right?
Yes.
A rate from 7.75% down to 6.25 is not a huge astronomical jump in payment, and that I think people are realizing, oh, rates are going down, but there's not a huge payment difference.
Yep.
You save maybe $200-$300, which is a good amount of money to save. It's not, if your payment was $5,000 to $4,600, it's not a huge difference, right? So people are like, oh, it's still good payment, right? Yeah.
No, and what's interesting is like I have someone who got who sent me a pre-approval the other day, and I'm looking at how much they made, and it was really interesting to see because about 5 years ago when we were buying, my wife and I were buying our house, so the income that she was making at the time was very similar to that person.
Yep.
And we were pre-approved for a lot more at that time, 5 years ago.
Rates of 2.5%.
Exactly. And this is a kind of like, it was kind of like a eye-opener looking how different things are with just the rate being almost double what it was back then.
I think when I used my house as an example, when I bought my first house, rates were 2.5, whatever they were.
Yep.
And rates today, buying my house with this, everything staying the same, is another $600 on top, right? So the question is, would I bought? Probably not. I probably wouldn't have bought my house if that payment was the new payment, right? So but that's the same thing when people are coming in today's market. When that payment is that payment, like, oh, I don't know if I want to buy.
Exactly.
It probably is cheaper to rent, right? Even if the rent's $2,500, it's better than a $4,000, $5,000 mortgage, right? And keep in mind, and I always hate this, and it's like, oh, people, it's cheaper to rent. No, it's not. No, it's cheaper. I'm sorry, it's cheaper to own. No, it's not.
So
you're gonna fix your
that's exactly what I was gonna say, because It's like if you own, you really those maintenance are on you.
Right.
And I'm not kind of like talking against it, but you just have to be prepared.
Wait, my refrigerator goes out. I got to replace the refrigerator. The heat guy's got to fix it. You just make a call and when another flips out along, right? What a good refrigerator is going to cost you? Yes, $800.
Here's the other interesting thing.
How much did it cost you?
That's exactly the thing I'm about to say. So I have a home warranty. I won't say which company. So it covers like basically all my appliances, my utility stuff, so heat, water heater, my plumbing and everything.
Yeah.
So my refrigerator went out. So I look at my policy. I'm like, okay, great, I'm covered.
Yeah.
I know I'm supposed to pay $150 to get someone to come take a look at it, and they take care of it.
Yeah.
So I call them. So that happens back in July.
Okay.
So I call them. They're like, all right. They send someone. Dude spends 5 minutes. And then he's like, okay, I have to take a look at that warranty and then we'll be back. 2 weeks go by. Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. I'm waiting on, I have kids, so the fridge doesn't work. So we're kind of suffering through trying to figure out. So
Yeah.
kind of like, we're like, okay. I called them again. I'm like, hey, do you guys have any update? What's going on? They're like, well, the person came through. I'm like, well, he did nothing. He just told me to wait. He's going to check on the warranty.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, so we're going to send somebody else.
Send somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So they assign me somebody. 2 weeks again goes by. No calls, nothing.
Nothing.
I call them. They're like, oh no, it's supposed to come from your warranty company. I'm like, okay, but they gave me your number.
Yeah.
They're like, so I call the warranty company back and forth, nothing. Long story short, we get into a scuffle. I get the money back, and then they tell me they're supposed to send somebody else. I'm like, listen, at this point, I'm done.
People.
So luckily, we had an emergency fund. I spent almost $2,500 to get a new fridge, and that was not expected.
Yeah.
So, it goes back to kind of like you really have to be prepared and learn to kind of like manage your funds so that you can cover an unexpected expense like that. And the fridge was working fine. Like we woke up one morning and the freezer, the top isn't freezing and bottom. And here's the funny part. We buy the new fridge, we install it, and the fridge starts working again.
That's funny. That's awesome.
It's the high fridge.
It's up here at top. Like something's always gonna go wrong. Not when, if. I'm sorry, the other way around. Not if, but when.
And here's the best part. When we first bought our house 5 years ago, we had an inspection. We had everything checked. Everything was good. 3 months after we bought the house, a water heater blew up and flooded the basement.
Brutal.
It was 3 in the morning. I had a boom.
3 in the morning.
Yeah. Downstairs, I stepped in a puddle of water.
Wow.
Oh my God. Again, that was an unexpected expense. 3 months after we just bought a whole bunch of money to buy the house. Landlord. Actually, I called the landlord. He had to spend money. That was me.
That's
Hey, it's good to buy. It's a good asset to have, but you got to be prepared for the maintenance.
And that's why I always tell people you shouldn't buy a house with $0 in your pocket. No. I have just enough to close. Great. What happens in 6 months, 3 months? Something goes wrong. You have nothing, no reserves.
Yep.
So I always say people, you should have at least 2 mortgage payments in there. People, different economics or financial because I have 3 months or whatever. I like 2 months just so you're fine. But yeah, you should not have to close with $0 in your pocket.
No, I think definitely a minimum 2 months gives you a little bit of cushion so that you can, cover anything, any little thing that happens in the meantime. So that's like on a professional side. So personal side, I keep teasing you. How are you settling in the new house? What else is going on?
It's going good. We're getting our basement over, so I get an office and voice play area. But the house is good. The house is great.
That's fun.
Learning a lot of things. I've never had irrigation, so learning to deal with that. House is good though. Really good.
Oh, let's go. That's good.
Very happy.
And on my side, one thing that's interesting, we're kind of like ramping up the construction company side
Nice.
because
yeah.
I'm one with
The truck up there.
I'm one with many hats, so definitely keep pushing like the construction side of things, still trying to build the real estate aspect of the team. But really interested. I've been picking like a few more contracts or so, and I don't like doing different new projects, which I think is cool because hey, I'm always learning.
Yep.
And on a personal side, I'm doing the fun project of redoing my deck on my own. Actually, you should record that. So I'm having that fun scenario, and as people always tell me, I always find myself in an interesting scenario. Because I end up hiring someone to kind of like dig a 3 feet hole for me,
Yeah.
and that ended up in a fishtail. So that wasn't pleasant.
What happened? Now
It's funny. It's like you're the contractor. Hey man, I'm like, okay, here's the scope of the work. We negotiated the price. We agreed, and then he starts doing the work. I mean, first off, he showed up 2 hours late. That should have been my red flag right there. Because he's supposed to start at 8:30. I get a text at 8:29. Hey, we'll have a couple other projects that we're doing, and then we'll be back right after. I'm like, okay, it's crazy. And of course, as you know, our schedule may start empty and then it gets full,
Of course.
or the other way around.
Right.
So I had a pretty long day. Had a couple open houses to go do, and then a few other things to do. So he shows up 2 hours late. So I get to run quickly. Hey, okay, we're doing X, Y, and Z. This is happening, and I'll take off. So my wife sends me a picture, and I'm like, okay, where they putting the dirt, that's not where it's supposed to go. So I just sends the guy a text, hey, are you guys gonna move the dirt afterwards? Because I feel like it would be too much of a work. I was about to say, is there another thing we can do to help you out?
Yeah.
But dude flips out.
So
Yeah.
why?
I have no idea. He flips out, it goes crazy, ends up being a death threat. Overthinking a hole. So ended up having to make a police report. So I can tell you, I was in the weeds.
What's going on in your house?
Hey, it's crazy, but I'm like having to take measures to make sure that my family and I are safe.
Yeah.
And all that. I'm like, wow.
Over a hole.
I'm not even about a hole. Like
The dirt.
putting the bit. That's
Crazy.
but hey, it is what it is. So the fun stuff. Oh man, but it's an interesting project. So I'll probably just do a separate video for it, just to, because it's really interesting what the plan that I have in mind.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we finish it before it gets too cold. Let's see how that goes.
It's getting cold out there. I just put the heat on for the first time. Yeah, 2 days ago. It's getting cold out there.
Nah, I put it like what, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, my wife is always cold. Her feet always.
I'm like, if you feel bad, you're not wearing enough clothes. Wear those clothes on.
Yeah. That's my father said. Put another one on.
Oh boy, but so back to the market. What do you see, or what do you foresee, kind of like going forward? Like it's really an interesting scenario that we see, kind of like going on. We talked last season about the new inspection rule that Massachusetts kind of like put in place. So how do you see like the rates dropping down, that kind of like affecting buyers going forward?
Well, I think the rates coming down is going to be huge. I mean, hopefully they do come down. I think it's going to really get everybody going, right? Because people who are in the 6.7% rate, if we get rates down to 5.5, hopefully,
Yeah.
you're going to get people now refinancing, maybe do some cash out.
Yep. Contractors
should be busy, or plumber, electricians, the trades.
Yeah.
People are putting pools in. Hopefully it's going to really get things moving, right? Because you think when rates were down 2.5%, everybody was doing everything, right? Putting pools in, and it was moving. So I think it's going to be great. I hope it's going to be great. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope rates come down. Right now they're moving in the right direction, so hopefully they continue. Right
Now, with rates being what they are now, do you see any kind of like people pulling out equity or more like leave straight refinance?
Right now, I see straight for refinances just to lower the monthly payment. Right, if you're at 7, if you can get now, a little over 7, if you can get around the low 6s, you save yourself $300-$400 a payment. I don't see people doing cash outs quite yet.
Okay.
I think we'll maybe see that around 5.5. And again, I don't know where rates are going to plateau at.
Yeah.
Is anybody's guess at this point? But yeah,
If only we had a crystal ball.
that'd be awesome, right? That's pretty sweet.
That'd be cool. No, but I mean, I hope that kind of like help drive the market as well. I know usually when rates go down, you tend to see an influx of buyers, which typically drive up prices versus anything. But I think we've been seeing a lot more price reductions and seller concessions.
Buyers, and then you know more than I would. And even when I sold my house, sellers always think the house is $1 million, right? And people think this is 2000, 10 years ago when rates were dropping. So I think you see the rate reduction when people are realizing, all right, my house is not worth whatever I thought it was worth. Right? I was humbled, did the same thing, right? So I get it.
Yeah.
But it's good though. People go, what's my house worth? Whatever people are willing to pay.
Yeah.
That's what my house is worth.
And it's like one thing that I'm seeing is like buyers are definitely a little bit either more picky or more patient because we have this listing which was a rental. Looks good. They did the work, good work. We believe that it's priced right, and the market started shifting.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, most people's negative comment about it hasn't been the price or the quality of the work. It's been the location of one of the bedrooms.
Really?
Yes, because one of the bedrooms is actually in the lower level, the basement. Because it's a ranch with a finished basement. And it's been very interesting, because in this market, we've been having 2 to 3 private showings a week. So, which is, decent turnout. And we've been having some second showings as well.
Yeah.
But everybody has been like, well, we're looking something for more like all the bedrooms on the same floor.
Well, I think that's the market. If you're going to pay X amount of dollars monthly payment, you're not going to, I think back when rates are 2.5 and you're bidding against everyone.
Exactly.
That won't work, right? Well, now it's the odds where, hey, I'm paying $5,000 a month. It's not. I'm not living it. I'm not. I'm out. And buyers know, I'm not really competing against 6, 7 people, maybe 2, 3, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a little bit of a competition. I see seller credits really big right now, where sellers are like, "Oh, give me $10,000 credit," right? But I think that's the market where. Things you would compromise before, you're not compromising now.
Yeah.
Right?
I think people are kind of being a little bit more cautious do you think that coupling that with more people going back to offices is kind of one of the things that's pushing that patience or?
I don't
just
know. I think, I think people should go back to the office. I know it's all popular. I think people go, my son is 18 years old.
Say somebody who works from home.
Well, no, I think it's easy. I think at 18 years old and 19, I had my first job.
Yeah.
You network, you make connections by going to the office and running to other people, different companies, and you're not doing that at home. Like I said, I work from home.
Yeah.
Sometimes I got to get out of the house.
Yeah.
I'll go just grab a lunch. I'll go to McDonald's or whatever. Just get out of the house.
Yeah.
I should talk to a human being, even if it's just ordering food. But I think people should go to the office. I think it's, businesses will get booming a little bit more, but that's a different topic. But yeah.
Hey.
But yeah, I think home offices are no longer be needed, right? Before you're sitting at your dining room table or you're building an office.
Exactly.
Those are kind of no longer, right? You don't need those anymore in the office, which I think is good though.
Hey, interesting.
My own person.
But anything that you look forward to in this market?
I love this job. I don't know. There's nothing I'm like, oh, I can't wait. Obviously, okay, hopefully rates drop, but I like doing it. I like helping people. Even like my wife, tease my wife. Even if I won $1 million tomorrow, or even $10 million, whatever, won the lottery, I will still do this.
Yep.
Right? I like it. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's something different all the time. I would still do this.
So, talking about entertaining, what's an interesting story that you have from a deal recently? Because we got to talk about real homes and real stuff.
So underwriting is difficult no matter where you are. So I heard, I'm gonna tell you where this was. I'm pleading the fifth. Got it clear to close without having the purchase and sales. Let that kick in.
So, okay. So, for everybody, so the whole process of when you're buying a home, you're supposed to, of course, you get pre-approved. You go to the fun part of searching for your home. You submit offers, and then you get offer accepted. Then now really kickstart the loan process, where your offer is accepted. As they're processing the loan and moving it through the pipeline, the second step in Massachusetts is one of the rare two-stage.
Yeah.
You know,
Rhode Island doesn't.
exactly. Rhode Island, you submit your offer is your purchase and sales.
Yeah.
But in Massachusetts, you're supposed to, after you get an offer accepted, draft the purchase and sales.
Right. The traders are going to do that.
The purchase and sales really is a big proponent of the loan process because that's really what drives everything else from the appraisal, from, exactly.
Deposits, closing time, everything.
So how do you get a clear to close, which is basically the final step of
Done.
your loan's approved, everything, we've checked everything, everything is set to go, we've got the appraisal, there's no questions to ask you, you can buy the home.
Yep.
How do you get from the offer accepted to clear the close without a purchase and sales?
No idea. No clue. I was like, dude, how do you do this? I'm like, I don't know. That's magic.
So how did that loan officer handle that?
The announcer caught it and was like, yeah, no, we don't. And then the underwriter was like, you're right. I was like, I know I'm right. But she's like, what do you think we should do? I was like, we should probably go get the purchase and sales. That's what I think we should do. And I said, the worst part is you would have caught this probably like 2 hours, and they said the loan's supposed to close the next day. It wasn't closed, and now it makes everybody look terrible, and everyone's panicking, rushing around. But you should, there's many steps to have caught this at this point. That's times. Yeah.
No, really interesting.
Really trust him.
Oh man. Were they able to close that loan, or is it still in? Okay.
I mean, if the purchase sales is the last thing you need, you're going to close. But it's just crazy you got the clear to close without.
I mean, because that's interesting because even appraisers oftentimes, when I meet with them, one of the questions they ask me is, do you have a copy of the purchase and sales? Because I didn't get it.
They got the purchase somehow. It's crazy.
Wow.
Makes no sense. Doesn't make it all make any sense, right?
Hey, the only place where you're going to get real stories about real stuff happening behind the scenes. So, there's definitely a lot of steps happening behind the scenes so that someone can buy the homes. But definitely this stops it.
That's one of the good ones. Yeah.
But hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Plenty more to come. Plenty of interesting topics to talk about. And cool guests that we're going to have. So, should be fun.
Thanks,
but hey, thank you. Ciao.
Oops.